And Stifel Nicholas. Good morning, Scott Crothers.
Good morning, McGraw.
All right. How did we finish up yesterday on Wall Street?
Yesterday, the Dow was up 46 points, closed at 21,374. Now, the Federal Reserve meeting went as expected. Technology shares sold off, and so did energy. Energy stocks were the worst performer as oil sold off 3.7% and closed at 44.73. That's its lowest settlement since November.
All right. And then the Fed yesterday was talking. What did they say?
Well, the Federal Reserve gave an upbeat assessment of the economy and raised rates 0.25% to a range between 1 and 1.25. They expect to raise one more time this year if the economy performs as expected. They plan to reduce their $4.5 trillion balance sheet as early as the fall by not reinvesting the proceeds.
That's all Chinese to me, by the way. The yield on the 10-year Treasury, what's that?
Right. The yield on the 10-year U.S. Treasury fell to 2.138% yesterday, the lowest close since November, which is kind of crazy when we're raising the short-term interest rates. It started the year at 2.446% and has been falling despite 3 rate increases this year. One of the main reasons we are seeing increased buying is there are so many negative yield bonds issued by governments. There is now $9.5 trillion in negative yield bonds on the market. So sounds like a great thing to invest in. You give them some money and they give you less back.
So that's why so many people are flocking to the U.S., even though rates are going up.
Right. That's why you're not seeing our 10-year Treasury
right, go up.
interest rate go up, even though we're bringing our shorter-term rates up.
Yeah.
Because people are still buying it because there's so many negative yield bonds out there issued by other governments.
So the world is still flocking to America, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah. General Motors, what are we hearing there?
Now, GM plans to idle 2 plants in order to work off extra inventory. The Chevy Malibu plant in Kansas City will be idle for 5 weeks starting at the end of this month. They will also idle a smaller plant in Ohio. It's estimated GM has about 1 million cars on dealer lots, so they need to bring that down a little.
There you go. All right. And then markets today after the news on the Fed yesterday.
Today, Dow looks off 80 points on the futures right now. We get a look at first-time jobless claims this morning, but we expect a light day of trading today.
All right. There you go. Scott Crothers with Stifel Nicholas. Always great to hear you. Thanks for checking in. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds great. Thanks, Will.
All right. It is 6:44, Big 550.